Morning, space freaks, absurdity fans, those with lots and lots and lots of common sense. This is what this morning is about. It's about common sense. This came out of nowhere. Just talking to somebody about the moon thing, landing on the moon again, okay? And I found myself saying again, mate, I see it as common sense. And I said to myself, why? Why do I see it as common sense? And that got me thinking, hey, you know what? I'm going to put myself on the microscope because I'm objective. So why do I say, no, they didn't go to the moon, it's common sense, right? Number one, it has to start with this. Right? It just, boom, obviously, I think to myself. But then, being objective, right? The people who would defend it most, who are they? From the US, right? Okay? So, you talk about moon landings with somebody from moon landings, right? Landings. Somebody from the US. It's in the blood, right? It is part of who you are, right? You went to the moon. It's education. They go to the schools. Boom, boom, boom. Far out. By the time you're 12, you've got an astronaut suit in your cupboard, ready to go. That's one, right? Now this. This right here is why I see it as common sense. Because I get all the angles, right? I get that it was 1969 when the first one went up. I get that there was a space race between Russia and the US. Right? I get that mobile phones weren't even out. No. Right? I hear they used a telescope and a sextant to navigate to the moon. Telescope and a sextant. Now, these are just really quick ones, okay? Thrust in a vacuum. When had that been tested? This is just quick. Thrust in a vacuum and 1/6 of Earth's gravity. When and how did anyone train for that, right? So, the vacuum and 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Now this is straight off the top of my head. Boom, boom, boom. So, there was a space race in 1969, for crying out loud. We are talking 1969. There was a space race. If you people can't see the competition between countries right now, with anything, you are blind, okay? The things they will do to beat each other. USSR, US. Mobile phones weren't even out. They navigated there with a telescope and a sextant. And people are believing this. It's incredible, right? It's unbelievable. Small situation of a vacuum where there's no molecules, particles, no atmosphere whatsoever, so there's no resistance to kick off of. Where did the astronauts learn to fly in this stuff? Just a couple of questions, but anybody from the US, you will have none of that. You do not want to even go to those questions. So, it goes down to where you're from as to what you believe. Now, I'm not stupid enough to believe any government of any country that I'm in anything they say to me, because I know that each country will say what they want their people to believe. And I know this because I've lived in 6 countries, right? So this gives me this perspective. I do not believe a word of what they tell me. You can be in one country and these people, right? There's something happens and TV and no, yeah, this country's done this, done that. And then the whole of this country hates everybody from this other country. It's stupidity, right? It's illogical. I'm not going to judge somebody else, anybody else from another country because of something that I'm told has happened by the country I live in, because that is the beginning of just not thinking for myself. I judge everyone individually. You treat me well, I treat you well. I don't care what my government says about your country, right? Because they lie, okay? They lie. They want us to get behind them so that we all, come on. The wars between the US and China and Russia, boycotting sports athletes because they come from a certain country. It's primitive, right? They try to get everybody on the same wavelength so that there's numbers, right? I don't do that, not anymore. I judge everybody individually because this comes down to family even. Like brothers, sisters, the dramas, hey, cut you loose straight away if you start doing stuff that I think is wrong. I'm not one of these people that's gonna go, oh yeah, it's family, we put up with it. No, I'm not gonna put up with jack. Not at all, because I can think for myself, right? You start doing that, where do you start drawing the lines? When the abuse starts or the lies starts, or it doesn't matter, brothers, sisters, this is just me, okay? This is me. I'm not going to be anyone's doormat. I'm not going to treat somebody else in a certain way because of what somebody else tells me about them, whether it's my freaking leader or not. I think for myself, right? So this has probably got a lot to do with this. I've lived in the US, right? I used to live in Florida, Tampa. I used to drive down and watch the space shuttles go up. I used to watch them from my garden go up. Love it, right? But doesn't mean go to the moon. It's awesome seeing a rocket go up, but for crying out loud. Am I stupid? Mobile phone, sexting, that people. I think for myself. That's where I say it's common sense. If you talk to somebody from the UK or Germany, they're kind of not so bothered about them. No, I don't really care if they went or not. You confront somebody from the US, say, no, you didn't go. Well, why? Because it's educated. It's what you are taught. It's the system. Deal with it. It's a fact, right? It doesn't mean that you wait. Just because you get it drilled into you and they go to your schools twice a year and show you all the space stuff and you live it and you breathe it and it's on TV, because that is the country that got there first. That's the country that tells people they got there first, right? So this is why I say it's a matter of common sense. I'm objective. I see every single angle. At least I think I do. Most of them, more than anybody else. That's why I say it's common sense. But, there's a ton of things. How many photos have we seen of the moon? These people, it's so subjective. It's always the same. The same freaking... Really? How many times? The flybys. It's one picture. Always one picture. Look, I'm sad, look, they've done this and they've got the rings. Look, look, 1 or 2. Come on. Where are the snaps? Where are the movies? We've got the technology, haven't we? For crying out loud. Calm down, it's early. So this is why I say it's common sense, because I don't let my mind get polluted with other people's crap. I trust my own judgment because I've had to all my life. Because people shit on you, don't they? And it gets to the stage where you go, okay, now I'm going to do what I think is right, and it's worked for me because I'm objective. I'm fair. I'm not going to judge somebody else because of what somebody else has told me about them. There is no way that I'm going to do that, because people lie. Or they don't. Or we all believe what we're told and we act accordingly. That's the beginning of a disaster, as I think you'll find out if you look around. So, what else? Where else does this go? What else do I say is common sense? God, people are so naive. I know. One of our favourites. Why is that common sense to me? Because everything's connected. I know they didn't go to the first one, so what? They skipped a level and all of a sudden went there? Everything's connected. My journey started at the beginning, when I know exactly what was what, and I'm objective, right? That's why they didn't go. Ingenuity, coming up to 60-something flights. A helicopter, 1.8 kilograms, 200... Alexa, how far away is Mars from Earth today?
Mars will be 373.3 million kilometers from Earth.
That's right. Say that again, Alexa. How far away is Mars?
Yesterday, Mars is 373.6 million kilometers from Earth.
Why is that? Because Mars is there, Sun is there, and we're here. So in our orbits, right? Mars is on the other side of the Sun, which is why I think NASA's given the Perseverance and the Curiosity a week off, a couple of weeks off, because the transmission, something, the Sun has something to do with the signal or something. So that is why, for me, it's purely a matter of common sense. I'm not manipulated. My mind's not being manipulated by other people's crap, because that is, after all, what happens. That is the main thing that happens. And if everybody could think for themselves, all the drama would go away. This is going on to religion. Why would I get involved in something like that if it's going to turn me against a certain... I'm not stupid, am I? All right? Oh, God. Woke up with it this morning. But this is why. So, to the mate that we were speaking back and forth this morning about them, and which triggered this, that's why I say it's common sense. You're from the US. You are not being objective. Believe you me, you've got no chance. I've lived there, lived in the UK, Germany, Spain, Australia. I've seen how it works. I have seen the news in each of those countries, and it gets to the stage where you go, far out, this is what's happening. It's experience, right? That is what makes you understand. These people that have never left the country that they've lived in, and they think they know politics, they think they understand why things happen. No, you don't. You can't understand unless you've seen it firsthand. So, common sense. That's why everything, that's why I keep saying, far out, it's common sense. Because I see the angles, right? I'm not going to be manipulated into hating anybody or having a grudge against someone because somebody tells me they want me to believe this, right? I don't care what it is. I trust my own judgment, and it served me well, right? The end. So, there you go. That is my take on does common sense, yeah? Okay. Happy Tuesday.